Hello and welcome to Enchanted Babes, where we play D&D Under the Sea. I am NerdKicks, your DM, and I'm joined as always by my players Ashta, Alex, and Sun. And we're just going to jump right into it. Our last session, we were traveling through the Lenathan Forest on our way towards Thestolon, trying to see if we could find evidence of some friends that were made before leaving the Lenathan Forest originally, and then were attacked by a fluff shark, which was exciting. Took it down without honestly too much difficulty, and then during another long rest, were robbed in the middle of the night. We started the morning and were briefly looking around for them, didn't really try very hard, and then heard bickering in the distance. And that is where we are at. It's early in the morning.
You think those are people that stole our gold?
Wanna go?
Potentially, we could go ask them for it back. But, maybe if they need it, then we just let them have it.
Yeah. I would hope they'd be smart enough to go further away.
Maybe we could give them some tips on how to rob people better.
I think that would necessarily
still get our gold
thing
back.
to do.
All right, shall we go say hi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go say hi.
So there is, you can hear the voices are kind of behind like a curtain of some kelp in this kelp forest. And yeah, I mean, you can kind of see there are just two guys standing there just like arguing in hushed voices. How do you...
I burst through the kelp and I go, "G'day, comrades!"
They just stop and like look at you and like, hello?
Hi, what you doing?
There's like a younger and an older one. They have kind of similar like kind of light brown hair. They're wearing kind of like blacks and browns. They're both merfolk with pretty plain colored tails. And the younger one looks kind of like shocked and confused, and the older one looks a little grumpy and is like, come on, Din, let's go. We're just leaving. None of your business.
That's a little rude. We were actually looking for some friends who stopped by and ransacked our coin purses. Would that be you folks?
If your stuff got taken, maybe you should have been trying a little harder. And then he kind of grabs the other one and they start to turn away from you.
I go, point taken, but if you were the folks who stole it, then maybe you should learn to leave the scene of the crime earlier and get further away. So what do you need the coin for?
He turns back around and just kind of glares at you and is like, "Are you insinuating something?"
Am I insinuating? I'm suggesting that you were the ones who stole it. Did you steal it? I'm actually curious to know who did it, because they did a pretty good job not waking us up. But at the same time, if it is you folks, then just want to give you a few pointers.
What are the other two people doing?
I'm assuming they haven't seen us yet.
Well, are you
so
staying back then?
No, I have gone behind Leo, but I didn't burst out with them.
Okay.
I wanted to still stay hidden. And noticing when when the one is getting kind of gruff. I want my crossbow trained on him just in case
Okay.
Anything gets violent.
Roll stealth.
could do
16.
something really funny right now. I don't know if it's worth it.
16? Okay, and then what's Elomi doing?
I think I entered just behind Leo, not hiding, but like just letting Leo take the lead. And I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth.
Okay.
It's a charisma save, by the way.
Yep.
I love it. Perfect.
What let's see. Is it centered? What is it centered on? Like who are you catching with it?
Cool if you catch me. I'm not going to be lying at all.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. I think I'm gonna have it centered on the younger one. And it's okay if Leo is inside that bubble, because I'm not sure how spatially we are. It
Okay, I would
says
say
a 15-foot square. It says sphere.
yeah, if you're centering it on them, you're probably I wouldn't say you're within 15 feet of them. Sorry, what's the DC?
Charisma save, and mine is 14.
14. Alrighty. I'm just trying to figure out.
Is that different?
You know whether each creature succeeds. Okay. You sense they both fail.
So what brings y'all around these parts? It's just a big forest, and we haven't seen anyone else.
The older one opens his mouth and he says, what does he say? He says, well, we're just here stealing things from folks. What did you do? And the younger one looks at him and just was like, ha!
Do they look like brothers?
They do look like brothers, yeah.
And do they look like teenagers or like
I would say the younger one is like an older teenager, and the other one's definitely an adult.
So what do you need the coin for?
The older one just kind of clamps his mouth shut, and the younger one says, "We gotta buy some stuff so that we can." And the older one kind of nudges him, and
That's all good. Like I said, we're not even angry. Like, we just want to know, like, the reason. Because, like, if you folks need it more than we do, like, we're more than happy to share some of our wealth, you know. This isn't like, you know...
We're not here to beat you up and take it back.
Nah.
we don't want to work real jobs because that's hard. So we just take money. And the older one like smacks him in the back of the head.
Yeah, real jobs can be hard. But sometimes you can find real jobs that are pretty fun. And also, real jobs can be kind of rewarding, too. Depending on the job.
Taking stuff is rewarding.
I never thought of it
In
like
the
that. You're a
short
little bit
term.
right.
No. Leo. Leo, you sweet poor thing. Don't get swept up in this, please.
The older one kind of grabs the brother and starts trying to swim away.
But there is a downside to stealing. Particularly if you're not doing it well, which you folks, like I said, you got it off us fair and square, but, like, we did find you, so, like, you know, not so good. Like, a good thief doesn't get caught. And, like, all of, like, the guards and whatnot, like the royal guards and stuff that, like, patrol this area and patrol, like, the Trident Crossroads and stuff, if they catch you, then I would say prison is probably worse than real work. Actually, prison is worse than real work, because the work that they make you do is, like, breaking rocks in a yard for no reason. So, like, and I say that from personal experience. Why would they make you
break rocks? What are the rocks for?
They never told us. It was just, apparently someone wrote it in a book one time. This is what you do with prisoners, and it's a long-honoured tradition.
That sounds
Wait, Leo, they had to
stupid.
break rocks in prison?
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I
the
forgot
hell?
they weren't there for that.
So, like, if you're gonna do the thievery thing because you don't want to work a real job, just be mindful that if you do get caught, you could end up in prison, which would be way worse. So, like, you've got two options, right? You either get really freaking good at thieving and not getting caught, which you need a little bit of work on, or you find a job that is fulfilling. Like, whether that be adventuring, or becoming a florist, or becoming a baker. Like, you got options.
Make a persuasion check.
That is a natural 20.
We're already changing lives.
Okay. So, wow. The older one kind of crosses his arms and like huffs, but he doesn't go anywhere or say anything. The younger one kind of like looks over at him and then reaches into his bag and just like chucks some stuff at you. Like he doesn't even make an effort to bring it to you. He just kind of chucks it at you. It's two small bags and some like food, like clearly because they took some of your food, but clearly he just like shoved it in the bag. It's just like it's like bits of food.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
I would like to catch those effortlessly with my monk reflexes.
sounds good. And he's like, what do you do?
Oh, we're adventurers. We're gonna save a princess and potentially, like, you know, exonerate a bunch of people who are trying to do the right thing. Like, we're on a mission. We have purpose. We have drive.
What you're gonna save a princess?
And
Yeah.
I say from where I am, and I'm a hell of a lot of a better thief than you are.
Not the moment, Thauma.
So this voice like just comes out of the kelp because Thauma's been hidden. And he kind of like screams like, ah, what? Who said that? Who? You can throw your voice?
I am not a smart merfolk. However, how many people were there when you robbed us in the middle of the night?
And the older one goes, 3.
Yeah.
Din, there were 3. There were 3. Don't you remember? Because we're missing the one that didn't have any money.
There you go. All right. So, now that we've decided that we're going to be making better life choices from today onwards, what are your folks' names? I'm Leo, this is Elomi, and Thauma, and this is the bestest boy, Gideon.
The younger
And
one
you just
says,
hear a very loud sigh.
the younger one says, well, my name is Din, and that's Derry.
Din Derry. Derry Din. Got it.
Where are you guys from?
Around.
None of your business.
I'm originally from the Leviathan's Last Stand, but like, yeah.
Leviathan's Last Stand. That sounds cool. Where's that?
South.
Oh,
Like
I've
way
never
south.
been very far south.
Yeah, it's like this little village that's built in the bones of a long dead titan. It's amazing.
A titan like the fire titan?
I don't know anything about a fire titan, but
Isn't the fire titan from south?
would
Comes
Leo
up every like 100 years or something.
would Leo know about a fire titan?
Make a history check.
My history's only a +1. That is a 5. Dice giveth and the dice taketh away.
You know what? It won the most important thing.
I mean, not really. It's something in the back of your head. It's like, that sounds familiar, but you're not really sure.
Okay. Nah, don't really. I mean, it's ringing very vague bells, but I couldn't tell you specifics. But maybe.
I thought that the big fire titan comes up every like 200 years or something. And then Derry chimes in like, "Oh, shut up. That's just a fairy tale." Like
200 years. Maybe it's something to
Maybe.
think about. This is Ashta talking, not Leo. So I'm putting together that the fire titan is probably related to the heating up of the oceans around Leviathan's last stand, but I don't know that Leo is in this moment.
Okay.
So I'm picking up
Cool.
the breadcrumbs, but Leo is not. I'll just say, oh, it's a cool fairy tale. Look, next time in a library, I'm gonna go find a book. I've heard books have answers. I'm not a big reader, but like, you know, I'll try.
Cool. I like reading. I read this book of fairy tales. And,
Ooh, did you steal it from a
is like,
library?
oh, yes. Yes.
No
Stealing
judgment,
from
honestly.
libraries is bad.
What if it was
Libraries help neighborhoods. You should give the book back to the
It's got
library.
a shiny cover. I'm not going back there.
okay. Do you mind if I have a quick squiz? I'll give it back, promise.
I guess.
Or,
He hands it
if
over.
you need the money, I can, like, pay you for it. Like, being a bookseller is also a legitimate, like, job as well.
Career.
Career, yeah.
I could steal things and then sell them? That's
What?
a dairy. Yo. Why have we not thought of selling the things back to the people? We
You
steal
could.
the thing. And, yeah.
You could.
Yep.
Maybe go into, like, rich dingus's, like, estates who obviously have more wealth than they know what to do with, right? And just take a few of their books, probably won't even notice because, you know, they've got too much stuff, and then, like, you set up a little shop and you sell it to people who are actually going to appreciate it rather than just hoard the wealth.
Dairy. I mean, I'm just saying. Dairy is still silent.
You only steal from people who obviously do not need it. Like, you know, big buttholes who are sitting on, like, large estates filled with, like, stuff.
This is a pretty good plan. I like this idea. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you're just redistributing the wealth amongst the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's quite democratic.
So do we tell them to go to Genbor and find Kale?
I'm going to flick through the book of fairy tales. Is there something about the fire titan?
There is. It's a very like fanciful renditions of each of these fairy tales. There's a couple of fairy tales you recognize, and you're like, you feel like the details are kind of loose in this even, but it does talk about. It actually says every 500 years in the story, and it talks about the fire titan comes up from the depth and cleanses all the land with its fiery power.
Yeah, I have read this one. Or was I told this one? You know what? Been having these weird dreams about the oceans and waters around my homelands getting real toasty about now. Might be linked to this fire titan. I'm gonna hand the book back. I'm assuming it's like a really pretty gilded book with, like, you know,
Exactly.
Gold painted sides. I'm like, you could turn this for a pretty profit. Absolutely. Looks like it's maybe what, second or third edition?
Oh my gosh. Dairy. Listen. I'll talk to him.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, now that we've had this conversation, I feel good. I think you folks are on the right track. I look forward to seeing what you get up to. Yeah, did we have anything else we wanted to say to these young folks? I say, turning to my companions.
Be careful around the city for a while. At least Gimbor, I mean. They're going to be on high alert.
We may have busted a bunch of people out of prison.
Well, yeah.
A flicker of like an impressed face crosses across Derry's face.
Yeah, when it comes to causing like chaos, we're pretty good at it, I think. Anywho, good luck on your new venture. I look forward to seeing Din and Derry's traveling book merchants around the lands.
All right, you guys be safe.
Mm-hmm.
You too, comrades. And yeah, we head off.
Derry finally grabs Din and is like, let's go, and like swims off.
It was so worth it for that spell slot.
It was.
Not freaking 20.
We are changing lives for the better.
Get good or get a real job.
Look, I think personally it was solid advice. Like, if they want to steal from people who deserve it, and turn a good profit off it.
Yeah.
Right?
And do something interesting. Steal books from rich a-holes libraries.
So we have our money back?
Yeah, he gave back all your money. The food is not really salvageable.
Yeah.
That's all good. How much money did they take again?
They took 40 from each of you.
40. Okay. Awesome. Well, let's continue. Were we going back to Thestolon? Was that our next port of call?
Yes.
Alrighty, so you want to keep heading for Thestolon?
Yeah.
Everybody go ahead and make a survival check.
That's a 19 for Leo.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
15.
15, 16, and 19?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, that's decent. So it takes you most of the day, and you end up arriving in that. You do get kind of turned around for like a moment, but you figure it out again pretty quickly. And you arrive in Thestolon around like early evening. You are back near we're back where we started.
This brings back some memories.
Oh. Feels good. Feels good to be back.
You enter the small, sleepy town of Thestolon. You notice some fences that had been broken have since been, repaired. There is the inn kind of in the central lower cliff area, or like below the cliff area of the Wicked Clam, which is the evening kind of rush is just starting to pick up, and so people are headed for the Wicked Clam at the end of their day.
To the Wicked Clam?
To the Wicked Clam. Let's go.
Wicked Clam!
In the Wicked Clam, there is some familiar faces, some, like you didn't get to know everybody in town, obviously. And you see behind the counter, a familiar face, but not the one you're expecting to see. It is a gruff, grizzled, kind of short, I think he was a halfling-ish mer, whose name was Rooney, the soldier gentleman who came out of the mirror when you rescued the Axelorns, is behind the counter serving drinks.
Oh my gosh, Rudy!
He looks up and is like, "Oh, well, hello, welcome," and he goes back to.
We're back in town, baby.
A couple of people around the inn look up and go, "Woo!"
It's been a whopping 2 weeks.
What an eventful 2 weeks it was.
I order a beer.
Alrighty. So Rooney will take your drink orders and get everyone served. And says, "Well, what brings you back here?"
We actually need to ask Winifred something. But is she here tonight? Is she busy?
She is here. She is in a meeting right now. But should be out in just a little bit.
All right. Thank you so much.
Can I get you guys any food or anything?
Oh, goodness. Yes, I would love some shrimp salad.
I would love the
Shrimp salad.
the seaweed salad. Vegetarian, please.
And for you?
I'll get the same as Elomi.
2 shrimps and 1
This is
leaf.
the
Wait, I'm the only
scallop.
one here. And he goes back.
Where do we have Gideon?
Oh,
Is
that's a great
Gideon in the
question.
Wicked Clam with us?
Or are there like a few like posts and stuff like in a yard?
There's
Nearby.
definitely so on the edge of this area, I believe this right here was like a stable for horses.
Okay. I
All
stable
right.
Gideon for the night, which I'm assuming is going to cost like a couple of silver or something.
Yeah, we'll call it 1 silver.
1 silver. Cool.
About 15 minutes later, your food arrives being carried by a small red-headed barmaid that you're very familiar with. She goes, "You're back! Oh my goodness, you're back!"
We're back and we've done
Winifred!
so much. We've had an
Tell
eventful
me-
time.
Tell me some of it. I have a lot going on. Tell me the short version.
Short version is we left here, we went south, we went to the Trident Crossroads. Elomi got captured, we freed Elomi. Then we made it into Genbor. We got captured in Genbor. Thauma and I got sent to prison. Elomi got sent to Palace Prison. And then Elomi broke us out of real prison. And then we escaped, and now we're here.
It's wow. Wow.
2 weeks. A lot's happened, huh?
Yeah. Well, what are you back in town for business or pleasure?
Seeing you is always a
What?
pleasure.
Oh, you.
Oh, Leo, you charmer. we were here to ask if you have any methods of transport that would be like more incognito so that we can get to the Lanathma forest, because there might possibly be like a curse or like illness spreading
Not the
from there.
Lanathma Forest.
Which one is it?
Not the Lanathma Forest.
The Zenthal Thorek.
It's
Zenthal?
Yeah. Lanathma's what we're close to.
You're
correct, you're
correct.
in the Lanathma forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, gee. So that's a big question. I'm not really sure if I am well equipped for such things, but maybe Fred would be a better person to ask.
Would we be able to set up a meeting with Fred for today or tomorrow?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Fred's probably free. Ooh, pretty late tonight. Can you stick around?
Yes. After I'm done with the salad, you want some light entertainment?
Absolutely. We've missed your voice around here.
Great to be here again.
Okay. So, is there anywhere you want to go before your meeting with Fred, or do you just want to spend your time kind of partying in the inn?
Just sort of decompressing, enjoying the time, letting Seb scuttle on the table and pick up the leftover shrimp.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else?
I pretend to play fake fencing swords with shrimp tails with Seb. On guard.
Nice.
Watching it happen.
Okay. The evening passes in a very lively fashion. A drinking contest comes up on at some point. I believe Seb was really good at beer pong. There could be a game of that. And
Yeah.
eventually, people start kind of filtering out, and you notice you don't see Winifred anymore, and Rooney comes up and says, Fred's just about ready for you if you want to head on over there.
Nice, let's head on over. I wonder where Winifred went. Anyway, let's go see Fred.
So Rooney kind of gestures towards the door, towards the back of the room. Do you guys head in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So inside there is a desk and I believe it was he bald? I cannot remember if he had hair, but an orange-tailed Ursulani is behind the desk. I think Thauma, you told him your name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I do not know.
I think you did, because you had to say your name so that he would give you the note, because he had to know who you were.
We can go with that. I don't know. It's been over a year.
It has. It's been a long time.
These 2 weeks, it felt like 2 years.
Yeah.
Time dilation under the sea.
Looks up and gestures and welcome. Come in. Please close the door.
Close the door.
Hello.
Take a seat. G'day.
How can I help you?
First, thank you for your help. Before it was invaluable. It was successful. My brother is no longer in prison, so
I am so glad to hear it.
Made a bit of chaos in Genbor on our way out.
We've heard murmurings that there's some chaos happening in Genbor.
Yeah,
that'd be
that
us.
was us.
Of course it was. So you need travel. What's going on? What is it you need?
We need safe travel to the Zenthal Forest without being busted at the Trident Crossroads.
They don't like us there.
Because we may have caused chaos there too.
We're kind of wanted. I think it's a felony to break people out of prison. Not 100% on that.
But in our defense, it was the right thing to do. Probably.
You need safe passage.
Might not be legal, but it's the right thing to do.
Those two are not necessarily the same thing. So you need safe passage. You're trying to go down into the Zenthal forest?
Yeah, we need to save the princess.
Yes.
She's not in the
It's very dangerous.
Zenthal forest, but we believe that she's either got some sort of disease or curse from there. And we're trying to, like, save her life by finding out what the cause is. Because, I'm pretty medically inclined myself. I've got a good knack for medicine. And I reckon we can nut out what the issue is.
Have there been any stories about people coming out of the Zenthal forest with blue lesions?
I don't know about the Zenthal forest. I know I've seen a couple. I do think we've seen a couple of animals in the forest, in the Lanathma forest, with some weird blue lesions. Just once or twice.
What area were they located in? How did they act? Were they okay or did they die?
We just saw them at a distance. We just,
Oh.
or we saw, after
Sorry.
they died, or
Were they on the, like, the Riverfold Ravine side? Like, the southern side of the forest?
yeah,
And were they creatures
down towards the ravine.
that are more commonly found in the Zenthal forest or the Lanathma forest, or...
I've only heard the story secondhand. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's all good.
New information is always welcome. Thank you.
Now we know that it affects more than just merfolk.
As I think my internet is suffering, so I might suddenly freeze.
You did
Just a
freeze
heads
for a
up.
little bit, but you're back now.
Okay. As for safe passage, I suppose your faces are probably pretty recognizable.
Leo gives a big, ridiculous grin.
I don't think that's something you should
I
be
can
proud of
do-
necessarily, Leo, but
Oh.
I can do some things to help with that for myself. And I just kind of like change colors, like just like flash a little bit,
I
as you would
can
know.
change how I look,
But-
but only for like an hour at a time. It's not a very long time.
Yeah, I can do that as well.
I have 2
Not
costumes
frequently.
and some makeup.
Point of order, Elomi, since we determined that your makeup was refilled literally 1 calendar year ago, I'm pretty sure you're about to run out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a store in Thestolon?
Absolutely. I do have one thing. It's not cheap.
How not cheap?
All right. Well, I paid 1,500 for it.
$1,500 silver.
I don't think so, Leo.
And he
It's a lot of gold.
turns to a cabinet behind his desk and pulls out a small, like, it looks almost like a beanie kind of hat, and sets it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
It does allow you to disguise yourself.
I was gonna say, like, the artist clearly had faith in their value if they sold it for 1,500. But like, if it's magical, that makes a bit more sense.
It allows you to disguise yourself for an hour a day? Question mark.
Oh.
That could be helpful, like passing through the more populated bits of.
I can do it. I can do it 3 hours a day.
I can only do it 1 hour a day. So that might
Oh,
be
no,
useful
you can do it for more than an hour a day.
with how to disguise.
Yes.
Okay.
This is at will.
That could be really valuable. Well, if Elomi can replenish their makeup kit, can anyone wear this hat, or like, do we need to like get used to wearing it? Like, what's the dealio? Can we like just pass it around the party?
You do have to sit and kind of focus on it for an hour. It does require
Focus.
attunement.
I can disassociate. I'm assuming that's the same thing.
That's basically the same thing. I didn't say that it would cost you 1,500. I'm telling you that's what I spent on it. I am open to an offer. My goal is always to aid and protect. Just sometimes that costs me a lot of money.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna take off my clockwork amulet and go. This thing is also magical. It's probably not as cool as the hat, but like, you know, we don't have 1,500 gold, but like, maybe this could be like a part trade, and then maybe we could do like a, I don't know, an errand or something, or an IOU, or.
And just like borrow it, and then once we do this, give the hat back.
Oh, like
collateral?
with collateral.
So
He
you're
takes it
suggesting
and
that
kind
Fred's
of-
also got like a prawn shop on the side?
I'm just reminding myself what it does.
The clockwork amulet?
Yeah.
It lets you roll a 10 once a day. Like, instead of
Yeah.
rolling, it's just a flat 10. Doesn't require attunement, though.
Well, with-
I have the circlet of blasting that requires attunement. I don't know if attunement means something is fancier than something that doesn't require attunement.
Hold on. I'm just Googling things that are not related. You have a circle. Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah.
You have a circlet of blasting.
I've literally never once used it.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're willing to part with both.
I could part with my clockwork amulet. Like, especially if this is just, like, collateral and, like, we could possibly pick these things up later. Like, if they trust you, I say pointing to Thauma, then I trust you completely.
Fred helped us get to Genfor and get Kale out of prison. Kaz trusts Fred.
In that case, yeah, absolutely, 100%. I say just thrusting over my clockwork amulet.
All right, all right. I will keep these 2 items safe. If you're not back in 6 months, I don't promise not to sell them.
That sounds totally fair to me. Like, 6 months is ample
Yeah.
time.
Honestly, if we're not back in 6 months, assume we're dead.
Well, I like to hope. I'm a pretty hopeful person. And he hands over a hat of disguise.
Hey. So Thauma, you said you can disguise yourself for like 3 hours a day as long as like you're not using your energy to do other stuff, right?
Yeah.
And Elomi can basically be disguised all day.
Yeah, so long as I replenish my makeup.
Does that mean that I'm probably the one that should be using this? Because I can only disguise myself for like an hour a day at a time. I'm also happy to share it with someone who needs it more than I do. I'm just trying to work out who the best recipient is.
For now, I think that would...
I'm wondering if maybe Elomi's, because and it's like above table, because isn't it a skill check for disguise kit where disguise self isn't
Yes. That is true.
a skill check? Where we can just kind of like
So I'm just going to sort of like hand it over to
do it
Elomi.
and it's not.
Okay, it's not really your style. You're covering up all that pretty hair, but like...
I think my hair's the least of our concerns right now. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Right. Well, that is helpful. It won't take us more than an hour to get across the Trident Crossroads. It's not that big. Like the actual
No.
city itself, not like the entire expanse of the ravine, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else I can do to aid in your ventures?
Do you deal in like...
Do you know...
Oh, you go.
Oh, thank you. Do you know anything about the Fire Titan, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
I'm afraid I don't. That doesn't sound familiar.
Oh, okay. It was a long shot.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You go ahead, Leo.
Oh, I was just gonna say, could you like start a rumor that we're somewhere away from here?
Rumors are my specialty. Where do you want to be?
That's a good question. Where should we be?
If
About
you're running
North
from
Fork.
prison, that's what I was going to suggest. North Fork is a very dense area, and if you're escaping prison,
And
it is a... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, in the complete opposite direction of where we're going.
That sounds ideal. Yeah. Can you plant some rumors that we're in North Fork? Just give us a little bit of breathing space.
Absolutely. Anything else I can do for you?
Fantastic idea.
See, that's it. That's a lot to ask of you.
Just in general, have you heard of any, like, just a roaming camp of like Ursulani and Dietmar that were hanging out nearby? I don't know if they've ever actually come into Thestolon.
It depends who's asking.
Just me. We met them when we were heading into Genvor. And we tried to find them on our way back. They let us camp with them. Shared food. Just wanted to check on them. There were a couple of guys who tried to rob from us last night. And they stuck around arguing rather loudly.
We
We
gave
got
them,
our
we
coin
gave
back.
them some life advice as well.
Yeah, I know those two.
Yeah,
I think-
Leo basically told them to get better at thieving or get real jobs.
If they could get real jobs, they'd be back in Imalon where they came from.
But yeah, I just I wanted to check in on them, make sure they were doing okay.
And give them a heads up that Gembor is going to be on high alert.
I'm
Yeah.
not
That's what they
generally
seem to be running to.
I'm not generally in the habit of sharing information on people's whereabouts.
If you could just pass on the message.
If you hear from them, we just wanted them to know that there was a higher guard presence. Because
I would say
they
we did tell them we
are
broke out
not
of prison, but
fans.
like, I don't know that they're smart enough to put two and two together.
We have similar enemies in the area and similar displeasures.
Understood. Now, I'm afraid it's very late, and I have an
Understandable.
employee to go send home. So that's new.
Well, thank you so much for like all of your help, Fred.
He seems to be adjusting to life in the future rather well.
He has good days and bad days. It's been a process. But yeah, I'm sure he can get you a room if you need a room for the night.
Of course. We'll definitely be staying here.
It might be our last
Thank you again
comfortable
for all
night.
of your help.
All right.
We head out and get rooms.
Beautiful. So we're just about to wrap up. Let's go ahead and say, instead of doing a shopping episode, let's just talk right now about what you want to buy. Because you said I know there were some things you were going to buy the next day. So what are we replenishing? What are we shopping for?
Makeup, for sure.
Okay.
Probably some extra rations.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to buy 10 days worth of rations.
10 days worth of rations? Great. I'm going to pull out this chart that I forgot I had. That'll tell me how much that costs.
Yeah, I think it's usually like 5 silver per day, so 10 days would be 5 gold.
Yeah. That sounds good to me. The makeup, 10 days. I would say here it's only 4 gold, honestly. Everything's pretty cheap here. The makeup will cost you.
Do the same.
Okay. The makeup will cost you 2 gold.
All right. Did I do that math right? Yes.
And is there anything else you want to buy or look into while you're in town?
I have one pauper disguise kit, like in like a costume. I'm wondering if we should get another.
Okay, you want to get like a costume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would say that'll probably cost you 7 silver.
All right.
And I would like to buy a saddle for Gideon and a bridle and reins. Not necessarily to ride him, but like it looks less suspicious.
Yeah. That's gonna be a little more expensive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that'll be 9 gold.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Now Gideon's not Nikki.
Like, I know,
So
it's not comfy as I'm putting it on him.
I would say that takes you, most of a day to get all your shopping and errands taken care of. And then are you staying in the inn again?
Yeah.
Or did you want to head out before nightfall?
How risky do we think it is staying in the same place? 2 nights in a row.
Probably not worth it.
Maybe head into the forest and camp?
Yeah. And I'm looking at the map. Oh, sorry.
I was like, we can. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know how quick Fred's rumors assistance would be,
That's true.
or how
Also,
quick they,
Thauma, would you
the
be
guards
better
would
off?
be getting out here and thinking.
Thauma, would you be better off sleeping in an inn for 1 extra night?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have an effect.
Mm.
Well, we can either be comfy or potentially safer. Because we don't know exactly how safe the comfy is.
There would be less.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say there would be less people around because it's late at night, right?
Less people around where?
I was thinking about the road. Because that'll be faster than the forest. And if we do run across people, we do have disguise abilities.
Are you saying we make a break across the roads tonight?
I'm considering it.
It's not a terrible idea.
It looks like the fastest way of making for the pass that's just north of Leviathan's last stand. Rather than climbing up the cliff.
Down into the southern crag.
Yeah.
I will remind you that you swim.
Oh, sorry, swimming.
No, I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't have to climb
don't
a
have
cliff.
to climb things.
Yeah.
Right. I was just looking at the ridge of the Zenthal forest that's overlooking the Trident Crossroads. Unless if I'm misreading that. If it's a drop, that might be fine.
I mean, it's like a cliff. So it's the Riverfold Ravine. It's like a ravine inside of 2 kind of cliffs areas.
Mm-hmm.
The Trident Crossroads is kind of surrounded by cliff on either side.
Might still be more worthwhile to go to Leviathan's last stand just because that's the closest group of civilization that we know would be friendly. And we can ask them about the blue legions and the coral. Because they would, if they have any information, they're the ones most likely to have it since of their proximity.
Yeah, I can take you back to my hometown. I mean, we saw Elomi's hometown. We don't have like a fancy palace or anything, but like we could go have like poke around, smell bones.
That sounds good. I like that. I'm okay I'm okay if you think that the making a break for it isn't a good idea, though.
I think there's value in that. There's very few people. I'm just worried that it might make us tired, pulling an all-nighter. And I know Thauma needs to rest as well. Otherwise they get extra tired.
Yeah, because we will have to take a long rest. Yeah, so taking a long rest will still have to happen.
But we could like take that in the morning, yeah? Have a bit of a sleep in.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so is your plan just to head for the road? Is that what the plan was?
I think that was the plan, to head for the road, sort of late at night, and possibly skirt around the eastern side of the Trident Crossroads and rejoin the Southern Crag Road before turning off towards Leviathan's Last Stand.
Alrighty.
I don't know how far we'll get in an evening, but
great. So I mean, if you're planning to rest in the morning, I would say you'd make it to basically the Trident Crossroads.
Is it how far away the very edge of the Lenathma Forest, right? Like where Riverfold Ravine, like goes. Is it possible to still like camp there? Yeah, there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like camp there before actually getting to. So we're not like camping out in the open.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say you could make it there in kind of like not early morning, but it's like still morning. And then you could set up camp in the forest. Like right on the edge of the lower half of the forest.
yeah, I think we'll do that. Give ourselves some cover.
All right. And then we will pick up from there in a month, actually. So we're not meeting again until the 12th.
Alrighty. Exciting.
All right.
Yee.
See you guys in a month.
Alrighty. Yeah. See you in a month,
Thank you so
everyone.
much for joining us. Bye.
Bye.